Welcome to Wisdom Audiobooks. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your thoughts, trapped in a cycle of worry and overthinking? Do you long for a way to free your mind and live fully in the present moment? In this audiobook, we will uncover the root causes of overthinking and equip you with practical tools to let go of mental burdens, rediscover peace, and embrace life with clarity and purpose. Introduction. The audiobook Stop Overthinking, Master the Art of Letting Go is written and published by Wisdom Audiobooks. This is more than just an audiobook, it's a guide to help you break free from the chains of overthinking and reclaim your inner peace. In today's fast-paced world, many of us struggle with overthinking. Whether it's worrying about the future, replaying past mistakes, or feeling stuck in a whirlpool of negative thoughts, overthinking can leave us exhausted, anxious, and disconnected from the beauty of the present moment. Young adults are often overwhelmed by societal pressures and self-doubt. Working professionals face burnout from juggling careers, family, and personal goals. Women balancing multiple roles may feel guilty for not being perfect in every aspect of life. And those dealing with mental health challenges find it hard to quiet their minds and focus on healing. Overthinking isn't just a mental habit, it's a barrier that keeps us from living our best lives. It robs us of joy, drains our energy, and prevents us from taking meaningful action toward our dreams. But here's the good news, you don't have to stay trapped in this cycle forever. With the right mindset and tools, you can learn to let go and create space for positivity, growth, and happiness. We understand how challenging it can be to stop overthinking. You're not alone in this journey. Every one of us has moments when we feel lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of what to do next. The key is recognizing that change begins with small, consistent steps. And today, as you listen to this audiobook, you're already taking the first step toward transformation. As the great philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Your decision to explore this audiobook shows courage and a willingness to grow, a powerful foundation for lasting change. This audiobook will take you on a transformative journey. You'll discover the underlying causes of overthinking and why it happens. Practical techniques like mindfulness, journaling, and positive affirmations to calm your mind. Strategies to build resilience, embrace the present moment, and cultivate a positive outlook on life. By the end of this audiobook, you'll have actionable insights to manage your thoughts, reduce stress, and live with greater intention. These lessons are designed to empower you to overcome overthinking and unlock your full potential. So, stay with me until the very end. Your wisdom journey starts here. Chapter 1: Understanding Overthinking. Overthinking is a silent thief that steals our peace of mind, drains our energy, and keeps us stuck in cycles of worry and doubt. But before we can conquer it, we must first understand what it truly is, and why it happens. In this chapter, we'll explore the nature of overthinking, its root causes, and the profound impact it has on our lives. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a clear understanding of why overthinking occurs and how it shapes your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Let's begin this journey by answering a fundamental question: what exactly is overthinking? 1. What is overthinking? Overthinking is more than just thinking too much. It's a mental habit where your mind becomes consumed by repetitive, often negative thoughts. It's like being trapped in a maze with no exit, endlessly circling the same worries, fears, or doubts without finding resolution. To illustrate this, let's look at a simple example. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation at work. Instead of focusing on your preparation, you find yourself obsessing over every possible outcome. What if I forget my lines? What if my boss doesn't like it? What if my colleagues judge me? These thoughts spiral out of control, leaving you anxious and unproductive. The philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This perfectly captures the essence of overthinking. Our minds create scenarios and problems that may never even happen, yet they feel overwhelmingly real. Key characteristics of overthinking. 1. Repetitive thoughts. You revisit the same thoughts over and over again, unable to break free. 2. Negative bias. Overthinking tends to focus on worst-case scenarios, amplifying fear and anxiety. 3. Paralysis by analysis. Overthinking prevents you from taking action because you're too busy analyzing every detail. It's important to note that overthinking isn't inherently bad, it's a natural response to uncertainty or stress. However, when left unchecked, it can become a destructive habit that affects your mental health, relationships, and overall quality of life. 2. Why do we overthink? Understanding the root causes of overthinking is crucial to addressing it effectively. Let's delve into why overthinking happens and what drives this behavior. 2.1. Psychological factors. At its core, overthinking stems from our brain's natural tendency to seek safety and certainty. Evolutionarily, humans are wired to anticipate threats and plan for survival. However, in modern society, this survival mechanism often backfires. Instead of protecting us, it traps us in cycles of worry about things that aren't immediate threats. For instance, consider the fear of failure. Many people overthink because they're afraid of making mistakes or being judged by others. This fear is rooted in perfectionism, a mindset that demands flawlessness in everything we do. As Brené Brown, a renowned researcher on vulnerability, puts it, perfectionism is not the same thing as striving to be your best. Perfectionism is the belief that if we live perfect, look perfect, and act perfect, we can avoid the pain of blame, judgment, and shame. 2.2. Environmental influences. Our surroundings also play a significant role in fostering overthinking. The fast-paced, hyper-connected world we live in bombards us with information, expectations, and comparisons. Social media, in particular, fuels overthinking by creating unrealistic standards and constant pressure to keep up. A study conducted by the American Psychological Association found that excessive social media use correlates with higher levels of anxiety and depression, both of which contribute to overthinking. When you scroll through Instagram or Facebook, seeing curated highlight reels of other people's lives, it's easy to start questioning your own worth and achievements. 2.3. Emotional triggers. Certain emotions, such as fear, guilt, or regret, can trigger overthinking. For example, someone who feels guilty about a past mistake may ruminate on it endlessly, replaying the event in their mind and imagining alternative outcomes. Similarly, fear of the unknown can lead to catastrophic thinking, where you assume the worst will happen. As Mark Twain wisely noted, "I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened." This quote highlights how overthinking often revolves around imagined scenarios rather than real problems. 3. The impact of overthinking on life. Now that we've explored the causes of overthinking, let's examine its effects. Overthinking doesn't just stay in your mind, it spills over into every aspect of your life, causing harm in subtle yet significant ways. 3.1. Mental health consequences. One of the most obvious impacts of overthinking is its toll on mental health. Chronic overthinking is closely linked to anxiety, depression, and burnout. When your mind is constantly racing, it becomes difficult to relax, sleep, or focus on daily tasks. A poignant story illustrates this point. Sarah, a 32-year-old marketing manager, shared her experience with overthinking during a therapy session. She described how she would lie awake at night, replaying conversations from the day and worrying about upcoming deadlines. Over time, this pattern led to insomnia, irritability, and a sense of hopelessness. It wasn't until she sought professional help that she began to untangle herself from the grip of overthinking. 3.2. Physical health effects. The mind-body connection means that overthinking doesn't just affect your mental state, it also impacts your physical health. Prolonged stress caused by overthinking can weaken your immune system, increase blood pressure, and disrupt digestion. Research published in the journal Psychosomatic Medicine reveals that individuals who engage in frequent rumination, a form of overthinking, are more likely to develop chronic illnesses such as heart disease and diabetes. 3.3. Relationship strain. Overthinking can also damage your relationships. When you're preoccupied with analyzing every interaction or second-guessing your partner's intentions, it creates tension and mistrust. For example, imagine a couple where one partner constantly overthinks minor disagreements, turning them into major conflicts. Over time, this erodes the foundation of trust and intimacy. 3.4. Career and productivity challenges. In the workplace, overthinking manifests as procrastination, indecision, and missed opportunities. A person who overanalyzes every decision may struggle to meet deadlines or take risks, hindering their professional growth. Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple, famously said, "Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become." This advice underscores the importance of trusting yourself instead of getting bogged down by overthinking. 4. Breaking the cycle of overthinking. Now that we've explored the causes and consequences of overthinking, let's shift our focus to solutions. The good news is that overthinking is not a permanent condition, it's a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. Below are practical strategies to help you regain control of your thoughts and reduce the grip of overthinking. 4.1. Practice mindfulness. Stay grounded in the present. One of the most effective ways to combat overthinking is through mindfulness. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. By training your mind to focus on what's happening right now, you can interrupt the cycle of repetitive thoughts. A powerful example of mindfulness in action comes from the story of Jon Kabat-Zinn, a pioneer in the field of mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR. After years of struggling with anxiety and chronic pain, Kabat-Zinn discovered that focusing on his breath and bodily sensations helped him find peace. He later developed an entire program based on this principle, which has since helped millions of people worldwide. To practice mindfulness, try this simple exercise. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your attention back to your breath. As Thich Nhat Hanh, a renowned Zen master, once said, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it." This quote reminds us that peace is always within reach if we choose to embrace the present. 4.2. Challenge negative thoughts. Reframe your perspective. Overthinking often stems from distorted thinking patterns, such as catastrophizing or black and white thinking. To break free, you need to challenge these negative thoughts and replace them with more balanced perspectives. For instance, imagine you're preparing for a job interview and start overthinking. What if I mess up? What if they don't hire me? Instead of spiraling into negativity, ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or assumptions? What's the worst that could happen, and how likely is it? What's one positive outcome I can focus on instead? This technique, known as cognitive restructuring, is widely used in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. It helps you take a step back and evaluate your thoughts objectively. 4.3. Set time limits for problem solving. Sometimes, overthinking arises because we genuinely need to solve a problem, but we get stuck in endless analysis. To avoid this trap, set a time limit for decision-making. For example, give yourself 30 minutes to weigh the pros and cons of a situation, then commit to a choice. This approach aligns with the advice of Tim Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Workweek, who emphasizes the importance of taking action over endless deliberation. He says, "Focus on being productive instead of busy." By setting boundaries, you prevent overthinking from consuming your time and energy. 4.4. Cultivate self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Overthinkers often criticize themselves harshly, which only fuels the cycle of negative thoughts. Practicing self-compassion can help you break this pattern. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a friend in a similar situation. Dr. Kristen Neff, a leading expert on self-compassion, explains that self-compassion has 3 components. 1. Self-kindness, being gentle with yourself rather than judgmental. 2. Common humanity, recognizing that suffering and imperfection are part of the human experience. 3. Mindfulness, observing your thoughts and feelings without exaggerating or suppressing them. For example, if you make a mistake at work, instead of berating yourself, acknowledge it as a learning opportunity. Say to yourself, "Everyone makes mistakes. What can I learn from this experience?" 5. A real-life story of transformation. To inspire you further, let me share the story of Michael, a 40-year-old teacher who struggled with overthinking for years. Michael was constantly worried about his students' performance, his colleagues' opinions, and his ability to balance work and family life. His overthinking led to insomnia, frequent headaches, and strained relationships with his loved ones. One day, after a particularly stressful week, Michael decided to seek help. He began attending mindfulness workshops and practicing gratitude journaling every evening. Gradually, he learned to observe his thoughts without judgment and focus on the present moment. Over time, Michael noticed a profound shift. He felt calmer, more confident, and better equipped to handle challenges. Michael's story teaches us that transformation is possible, no matter how deeply ingrained the habit of overthinking may seem. As he reflects, "I realized that my thoughts were just clouds passing by, they didn't define me." 6. Key takeaways from Chapter 1. Before moving on to the next chapter, let's recap the main lessons from this section. 1. Understanding overthinking. Overthinking is a mental habit characterized by repetitive, negative thoughts. It stems from psychological factors, environmental influences, and emotional triggers. 2. Impact on life. Overthinking affects your mental health, physical well-being, relationships, and career. It creates unnecessary stress and hinders personal growth. 3. Breaking the cycle. You can overcome overthinking by practicing mindfulness, challenging negative thoughts, setting time limits for problem solving, and cultivating self-compassion. 4. Real-life inspiration. Stories like Michael's remind us that change is possible with persistence and the right tools. Closing words for Chapter 1. Overthinking may feel overwhelming, but remember, you hold the power to transform your mindset. By understanding its roots and implementing the strategies shared in this chapter, you're already taking meaningful steps toward freedom. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into the science of letting go and explore how releasing mental burdens can lead to lasting peace and fulfillment. Until then, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned so far. Ask yourself, where can I start applying these insights today? Your journey to mastering the art of letting go continues. Stay tuned. Chapter 2: The Science of Letting Go. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about releasing what no longer serves you and creating space for growth, peace, and joy. In this chapter, we'll explore the science behind letting go, its profound benefits, and practical steps to embrace this transformative practice. By understanding the art of letting go, you'll gain the tools to free yourself from mental burdens and live with greater clarity and purpose. Let's begin by answering a fundamental question. What does letting go truly mean? 1. What does letting go mean? Letting go is the act of releasing attachment to outcomes, emotions, or situations that weigh you down. It's about accepting reality as it is, rather than resisting it or clinging to how you wish things would be. To illustrate this concept, consider the analogy of holding sand in your hand. If you grip the sand tightly, it slips through your fingers. But if you open your palm and let it rest lightly, the sand stays in place. Similarly, when you try to control everything in life, you often lose what you're trying to hold on to. However, when you release your grip and trust the flow of life, you create room for miracles to happen. As the Dalai Lama wisely said, "Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions." Letting go is one of those actions, a conscious choice to surrender what you cannot change and focus on what truly matters. Key aspects of letting go. 1. Acceptance, acknowledging reality without resistance. 2. Forgiveness, releasing resentment toward yourself or others. 3. Detachment, letting go of the need to control every outcome. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring your feelings. It means processing them in a healthy way and moving forward with grace. 2. The benefits of letting go. Letting go has far-reaching benefits that extend beyond just reducing stress. It touches every area of your life, from your mental health to your relationships and overall well-being. 2.1. Mental clarity and emotional freedom. When you let go of negative thoughts, regrets, or grudges, you free up mental space for creativity, problem-solving, and joy. Overthinking often clouds your judgment, but letting go clears the fog, allowing you to see situations more objectively. For example, Imagine someone who holds on to anger after a disagreement with a friend. That anger festers, consuming their energy and preventing them from enjoying other aspects of life. However, when they choose to forgive and let go, they experience a sense of liberation and renewed connection. 2.2. Improved physical health. The mind-body connection means that emotional baggage can manifest as physical symptoms. Chronic stress caused by unresolved emotions can lead to issues like headaches, digestive problems, and weakened immunity. By letting go, you reduce stress levels and promote healing in your body. Research published in the journal Psychological Science shows that forgiveness, a key component of letting go, is associated with lower blood pressure and improved cardiovascular health. 2.3. Stronger relationships. Letting go also strengthens your relationships. When you release expectations, judgments, or past grievances, you create space for deeper connections. For instance, instead of holding on to resentment because your partner forgot an anniversary, you can choose to let it go and focus on the love you share. Maya Angelou, the celebrated poet and civil rights activist, once said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better." This quote reminds us that everyone makes mistakes, and forgiving others allows both parties to grow. 2.4. Greater resilience and inner peace. Letting go builds resilience by teaching you to adapt to change and uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and clinging to rigid expectations only leads to disappointment. By embracing impermanence, you develop the flexibility to navigate challenges with ease. A powerful example comes from Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning. Despite enduring unimaginable suffering, Frankl found meaning in his experiences by choosing to let go of bitterness and focus on what he could control. He wrote, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response." 3. How to start letting go. Now that we've explored the benefits of letting go, let's dive into actionable steps to help you embrace this practice. These strategies are designed to guide you gently toward releasing what no longer serves you. 3.1. Practice radical acceptance. Radical acceptance involves fully acknowledging reality, even when it's painful or uncomfortable. Instead of resisting what is, you choose to face it head-on. For instance, if you've lost a job, instead of dwelling on, "Why me?" or replaying worst-case scenarios, you can say to yourself, "This is my reality right now, and I will find a way to move forward." Acceptance doesn't mean liking the situation. It means making peace with it so you can take constructive action. Tara Brach, a psychologist and meditation teacher, emphasizes the importance of radical acceptance in her book Radical Compassion. She writes, "Imperfection is not our personal problem, it is a natural part of existing." This perspective helps us stop fighting against ourselves and start embracing life as it unfolds. 3.2. Write a letter of release. One powerful exercise for letting go is writing a letter to release pent-up emotions. This technique works particularly well for unresolved conflicts or lingering regrets. Here's how to do it. Take a piece of paper and write a letter addressed to the person or situation you need to let go of. Pour out all your feelings, anger, sadness, frustration, guilt, without censoring yourself. Once you've expressed everything, read the letter aloud, then tear it up or burn it as a symbolic gesture of release. This process helps externalize your emotions and provides closure. 3.3. Use visualization techniques. Visualization is another effective tool for letting go. Close your eyes and imagine placing whatever you're holding on to, whether it's a memory, emotion, or expectation, into a balloon. Watch as the balloon floats away into the sky, carrying your burden with it. Alternatively, you can visualize yourself standing under a waterfall, allowing the water to wash away any heaviness or tension. This imagery reinforces the idea of cleansing and renewal. 3.4. Focus on what you can control. Letting go often requires shifting your focus from what you can't control to what you can. For example, if you're worried about an upcoming event, instead of obsessing over potential outcomes, channel your energy into preparation. Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, advises distinguishing between your circle of concern things outside your control, and your circle of influence, things within your control. By focusing on your circle of influence, you empower yourself to take meaningful action. 4. Stories of transformation through letting go. To deepen your understanding of letting go, let's explore 2 real-life stories that demonstrate the power of this practice. These stories highlight how embracing letting go can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. 4.1. The story of Emma, forgiveness as freedom. Emma, a 35-year-old nurse, had been carrying resentment toward her father for years. Her father had left the family when she was a child, and despite occasional attempts to reconnect, their relationship remained strained. Over time, Emma's bitterness grew, affecting her mood, relationships, and even her work performance. One day, during a therapy session, Emma's counselor encouraged her to write a letter to her father, not to send it, but to express her feelings honestly. In the letter, Emma poured out her pain, anger, and longing for closure. She described how his absence had shaped her life and admitted that she still loved him despite everything. After writing the letter, Emma decided to burn it as a symbolic act of forgiveness. As she watched the paper turn to ash, something inside her shifted. She realized that holding on to resentment wasn't hurting her father, it was hurting her. Letting go didn't mean excusing his actions, it meant freeing herself from the emotional chains that bound her. Years later, Emma reflected on this moment as a turning point in her life. She said, "Forgiveness wasn't about him, it was about me. Once I let go, I felt lighter, freer, and more open to love." 4.2. The story of James, surrendering control. James, a successful entrepreneur in his late 40s, was known for his meticulous planning and relentless drive. However, his need for control began to take a toll on his health and happiness. After suffering a minor heart attack, James was forced to confront the reality that he couldn't micromanage every aspect of his life. During his recovery, James discovered mindfulness meditation and started practicing daily. At first, he struggled to sit still and quiet his mind, but over time, he learned to observe his thoughts without judgment. This practice taught him to surrender control and trust the flow of life. One pivotal moment came when James faced a major business setback. Instead of panicking or trying to fix everything himself, he took a step back and allowed his team to handle the situation. To his surprise, they rose to the occasion and found creative solutions that exceeded his expectations. Looking back, James realized that letting go of control had not only saved his business but also transformed his leadership style. He explained, "I used to think success depended on my ability to control outcomes. Now I know it's about trusting the process and the people around me." 5. Practical tips for daily life. Letting go is a skill that requires consistent practice. Below are some practical tips to help you incorporate this mindset into your daily routine. 5.1. Start small, let go of minor annoyances. Begin by releasing small frustrations, such as traffic delays, misplaced items, or minor disagreements. Each time you catch yourself getting upset, pause and remind yourself, "This is temporary. It doesn't define my day." 5.2. Practice gratitude, shift your focus. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to overthinking and attachment. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you cultivate contentment and reduce the urge to cling to unmet desires. Keep a gratitude journal and write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Over time, this habit will rewire your brain to notice the positives in every situation. As Melody Beattie, author of The Language of Letting Go, writes, "Gratitude turns what we have into enough." 5.3. Set healthy boundaries. Sometimes, letting go involves setting boundaries to protect your energy and well-being. For example, if a toxic relationship is draining you, it may be necessary to distance yourself, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Remember, saying no to others is often an act of saying yes to yourself. 5.4. Embrace impermanence. Life is inherently unpredictable, and clinging to permanence only leads to suffering. Instead, embrace the impermanent nature of all things, relationships, jobs, emotions, and find beauty in the transient moments. A poignant quote by Lao Tzu captures this sentiment perfectly. By letting it go, it all gets done. The world is won by those who let it go. 6. Key takeaways from Chapter 2. Before moving on to the next chapter, let's recap the main lessons from this section. 1. Understanding letting go. Letting go is the art of releasing attachment to outcomes, emotions, or situations that no longer serve you. 2. Benefits of letting go. It brings mental clarity, emotional freedom, improved physical health, stronger relationships, and greater resilience. 3. Practical steps. Practices like radical acceptance, visualization, gratitude journaling, and setting boundaries can help you let go effectively. 4. Real-life inspiration. Stories like Emma's and James's show that letting go is a transformative journey that leads to healing and growth. Closing words for Chapter 2. Letting go is not always easy. It requires courage, patience, and self-awareness. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you release what weighs you down, you create space for lightness, joy, and possibility. In the next chapter, we'll explore practical techniques to stop overthinking and build a positive mindset. Until then, reflect on one thing you can let go of today. Ask yourself, what would happen if I released this burden? Your journey to mastering the art of letting go continues. Chapter 3. Practical techniques to stop overthinking. In the previous chapters, we explored the nature of overthinking and the transformative power of letting go. Now, it's time to equip you with practical tools and techniques to stop overthinking once and for all. These strategies are designed to be simple yet effective, allowing you to take immediate action toward regaining control of your mind and emotions. In this chapter, we'll dive into mindfulness meditation, journaling, positive affirmations, and time management tips, all proven methods to quiet your mind and cultivate a sense of peace. By the end of this section, you'll have a toolkit of actionable steps to combat overthinking and embrace a calmer, more focused life. Let's begin by exploring one of the most powerful practices for mental clarity: mindfulness meditation. 1. Mindfulness meditation, cultivating awareness in the present moment. Mindfulness meditation is a practice that involves focusing your attention on the present moment without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they arise, rather than getting caught up in them. This simple yet profound technique has been shown to reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance emotional well-being. How mindfulness works. When you meditate mindfully, you train your brain to become an observer rather than a participant in your thoughts. Instead of reacting to every thought that crosses your mind, you learn to acknowledge it, label it. This is just a thought, and let it pass like clouds drifting across the sky. For example, imagine you're sitting quietly and notice a thought about an upcoming deadline. Instead of spiraling into worry, you simply observe. There's a thought about work. Then, gently bring your attention back to your breath or another anchor point. Research published in the journal JAMA Internal Medicine found that mindfulness meditation significantly reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, making it a powerful antidote to overthinking. Getting started with mindfulness meditation. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you begin practicing mindfulness meditation. 1. Find a quiet space. Choose a place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your back straight and hands resting on your lap. 2. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and pay attention to the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. Notice the rise and fall of your chest or the feeling of air passing through your nostrils. 3. Acknowledge thoughts without judgment. When thoughts arise, and they will, don't try to push them away. Simply acknowledge their presence and return your focus to your breath. 4. Start small. Begin with 5 to 10 minutes per day and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable with the practice. As John Kabat-Zinn, the founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, says, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." Mindfulness teaches you how to ride the waves of your thoughts without being swept away by them. Real-life example: Sarah's journey with mindfulness. Sarah, a 28-year-old graphic designer, struggled with chronic overthinking that left her feeling anxious and unproductive. After reading about mindfulness meditation, she decided to give it a try. At first, she found it challenging to sit still and quiet her racing mind. But after just 2 weeks of consistent practice, she began to notice subtle changes. She shared, "I realized I didn't have to believe every thought that popped into my head. Some were just noise, background chatter that didn't need my attention." Over time, Sarah's meditation practice helped her stay grounded during stressful projects and improved her ability to focus on creative tasks. 2. Journaling your thoughts, unloading the mental clutter. Journaling is another powerful tool for managing overthinking. Writing down your thoughts provides a safe outlet to process emotions, gain clarity, and release mental clutter. Why journaling works. Overthinking often occurs because our minds are overloaded with unresolved thoughts and emotions. Journaling helps externalize these internal struggles, giving you a fresh perspective and reducing their intensity. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology found that expressive writing can lower stress levels and improve overall well-being. By putting pen to paper, you create distance between yourself and your thoughts, allowing you to examine them more objectively. How to use journaling to stop overthinking. Here are some journaling techniques to help you manage overthinking. 1. Stream of consciousness writing. Set a timer for 10 minutes and write continuously without editing or censoring yourself. Let your thoughts flow freely onto the page, no matter how messy or disjointed they may seem. Example prompt. Right now I'm thinking about. 2. Gratitude journaling. Shift your focus from problems to blessings by listing 3 things you're grateful for each day. This practice rewires your brain to notice the positives in every situation. Example prompt. Today, I'm thankful for. 3. Problem-solving journaling. If you're stuck on a specific issue, use your journal to brainstorm solutions. Write down the problem, possible actions, and potential outcomes. This structured approach prevents overthinking from spiraling out of control. Example prompt. The challenge I'm facing is. Here's what I can do about it. Real-life example. Mark's breakthrough through journaling. Mark, a 36-year-old teacher, had always been prone to overthinking. After a particularly stressful semester, he decided to start journaling as a way to cope. Initially skeptical, he was surprised by how much relief he felt after unloading his worries onto paper. He explained, "Writing gave me a sense of control. It was like transferring the chaos in my head to something tangible that I could review later." Over time, Mark discovered patterns in his thinking and learned to address recurring concerns proactively. 3. Positive affirmations, rewiring your inner dialogue. Positive affirmations are short, empowering statements that help reprogram your subconscious mind. They counteract negative self-talk and reinforce beliefs that support your growth and well-being. How affirmations work. Our thoughts shape our reality, and overthinkers often fall into patterns of self-criticism and doubt. Positive affirmations interrupt these destructive cycles by replacing them with uplifting messages. For example, instead of thinking, "I'll never get this right," you might repeat, "I am capable and confident in my abilities." Over time, these affirmations sink into your subconscious, influencing how you perceive yourself and your circumstances. Crafting effective affirmations. To maximize the impact of positive affirmations, follow these guidelines. 1. Be specific. Tailor your affirmations to address your unique challenges and goals. Example. I trust my instincts and make wise decisions. 2. Use present tense. Phrase affirmations as if they're already true. Example. I am calm and centered in every situation. 3. Stay positive. Focus on what you want, not what you want to avoid. Example. I welcome peace and clarity into my mind. Incorporating affirmations into your routine. Here are some ways to integrate affirmations into your daily life. Repeat them aloud in front of a mirror each morning. Write them in your journal or post them where you'll see them often. Pair them with deep breathing exercises for added relaxation. As Louise Hay, author of You Can Heal Your Life, famously said, "Every thought we think is creating our future." By choosing positive thoughts, you pave the way for a brighter tomorrow. 4. Time management tips, prioritizing what truly matters. Overthinking often stems from feeling overwhelmed by tasks or responsibilities. When your to-do list feels endless, it's easy to get stuck in analysis paralysis, constantly thinking about what needs to be done without actually doing anything. Effective time management can help you break this cycle by creating structure and clarity. Why time management helps reduce overthinking. When you have a clear plan for your day, you eliminate the mental clutter that fuels overthinking. Instead of worrying about whether you're focusing on the right things, you can trust your schedule to guide you. This frees up mental energy for more meaningful activities and reduces the urge to ruminate unnecessarily. As Brian Tracy, author of Eat That Frog, puts it, every minute you spend planning saves 10 minutes in execution. By organizing your time wisely, you not only boost productivity but also create space for peace of mind. Practical time management strategies. Here are some proven techniques to help you manage your time effectively and minimize overthinking. 1. The Eisenhower Matrix. Divide your tasks into 4 categories based on urgency and importance. Urgent and important. Do these immediately. Important but not urgent. Schedule these for later. Urgent but not important. Delegate if possible. Neither urgent nor important. Eliminate these tasks entirely. This framework ensures you focus on high-impact activities while letting go of distractions. 2. Time blocking. Allocate specific blocks of time for different tasks throughout your day. For example, dedicate 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. to deep work, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. to emails, and so on. Stick to these blocks rigidly to avoid multitasking or procrastination. 3. Set boundaries with technology. Constant notifications from phones, emails, and social media can fragment your attention and fuel overthinking. Use tools like Do Not Disturb mode or app blockers to limit distractions during focused work periods. 4. Practice the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately instead of adding it to your to-do list. This prevents small tasks from piling up and becoming sources of stress. Real-life example: Lisa's productivity transformation. Lisa, a 40-year-old marketing manager, used to feel overwhelmed by her workload. She would spend hours overthinking how to tackle her projects, only to end up exhausted and unproductive. After learning about the Eisenhower Matrix, she decided to apply it to her daily routine. She shared, I realized I was spending too much time on low-priority tasks while neglecting the big-picture goals. Once I started prioritizing what truly mattered, I felt more in control and accomplished more in less time. 5. Stories of success. Applying these techniques in real life. To inspire you further, let's explore 2 additional stories that demonstrate how combining mindfulness, journaling, affirmations, and time management can lead to remarkable results. 5.1. The story of David, from chaos to clarity. David, a 30-year-old entrepreneur, struggled with chronic overthinking that hindered his ability to make decisions. His mind was constantly racing, jumping from one idea to another without ever settling on a clear course of action. After reading about mindfulness meditation, David committed to practicing it daily. He also began journaling each evening to process his thoughts and identify recurring patterns. To combat negative self-talk, he incorporated positive affirmations like, I am confident in my choices, into his morning routine. Finally, he implemented time blocking to organize his day and ensure he stayed focused on priorities. Within months, David noticed a dramatic shift. He described the change as follows. I went from feeling scattered and anxious to feeling grounded and decisive. It's like I finally found my center. 5.2. The story of Rachel, finding balance through structure. Rachel, a 26-year-old graduate student, often found herself overwhelmed by academic deadlines and personal commitments. Her tendency to overthink made it difficult to relax, even during rare moments of downtime. Rachel decided to experiment with a combination of techniques. She started meditating for 10 minutes each morning to calm her mind. She kept a gratitude journal to remind herself of life's positives despite the challenges. Additionally, she adopted the Eisenhower Matrix to prioritize her assignments and extracurricular activities. Reflecting on her progress, Rachel said, These tools didn't just help me stop overthinking, they taught me how to live intentionally. Now I feel more balanced and capable of handling whatever comes my way. 6. Key takeaways from Chapter 3. Before moving on to the next chapter, let's review the main lessons from this section. 1. Mindfulness meditation. Cultivate awareness of the present moment to interrupt overthinking and find inner peace. 2. Journaling. Unload your thoughts onto paper to gain clarity and release mental clutter. 3. Positive affirmations. Rewire your inner dialogue with empowering statements that reinforce confidence and resilience. 4. Time management. Organize your day strategically to reduce overwhelm and increase productivity. 5. Real-life inspiration. Stories like David's and Rachel's show how combining these techniques can lead to transformative outcomes. Closing words for Chapter 3. Stopping overthinking is not an overnight process. It requires consistent effort and practice. However, with the right tools and mindset, you can reclaim control of your thoughts and create a life filled with clarity, purpose, and joy. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to build a positive mindset, a crucial step towards sustaining long-term growth and happiness. Until then, take a moment to reflect on which technique resonates most with you. Ask yourself, how can I integrate this practice into my daily routine? Your journey to mastering the art of letting go continues. Chapter 4. Building a positive mindset. A positive mindset is not just about being optimistic. It's a powerful tool that can transform the way you perceive and respond to life's challenges. In this chapter, we'll explore how cultivating positivity can help you overcome overthinking, build resilience, and create a foundation for lasting happiness. From practicing gratitude to reframing negative thoughts, these strategies will empower you to shift your perspective and embrace life with renewed energy. By the end of this section, you'll have actionable steps to nurture a mindset that supports growth, peace, and fulfillment. Let's begin by understanding the profound impact of gratitude on shaping a positive outlook. 1. The power of gratitude, shifting your focus to what truly matters. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most transformative practices you can adopt. It shifts your focus from what's lacking in your life to what you already have, fostering a sense of abundance and contentment. Why gratitude works. When you practice gratitude, you train your brain to notice the positives in every situation. This rewires your neural pathways, making it easier to recognize opportunities, appreciate small joys, and maintain a hopeful outlook, even during difficult times. Research published in the journal Psychological Science shows that people who regularly express gratitude experience higher levels of happiness, improved relationships, and better physical health. Gratitude doesn't eliminate challenges, but it helps you navigate them with grace and resilience. How to cultivate gratitude daily. Here are some practical ways to incorporate gratitude into your routine. 1. Keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They can be big or small, anything from a delicious meal to a supportive friend. Example entry. I'm grateful for the sunny weather today, my colleagues' kind words, and the progress I made on my project. 2. Express gratitude to others. Take time to thank the people who enrich your life. Whether through a heartfelt message, a phone call, or a simple gesture, expressing appreciation strengthens your connections and spreads positivity. 3. Practice gratitude in challenging moments. Even when things don't go as planned, look for silver linings. For example, if you miss a flight, remind yourself, this gives me extra time to relax and prepare for my trip. Real-life example, Maria's journey with gratitude. Maria, a 32-year-old nurse, struggled with burnout after years of working long hours in a high-pressure environment. She often felt unappreciated and overwhelmed, which fueled her tendency to overthink and dwell on negativity. After reading about the benefits of gratitude, Maria decided to start a gratitude journal. At first, she found it challenging to identify things she was thankful for amidst the chaos. But over time, she began noticing small blessings, a patient's smile, a colleague's support, or a quiet moment during her shift. She reflected, gratitude didn't solve all my problems, but it changed the way I saw them. Instead of focusing on what was wrong, I started appreciating what was right. This shift in perspective helped Maria regain her passion for nursing and find joy in her work again. 2. Reframing negative thoughts, turning challenges into opportunities. Negative thoughts are a natural part of life, but they don't have to define your experience. Reframing involves shifting your perspective to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. How reframing works. Reframing requires you to question the validity of your negative thoughts and replace them with more balanced interpretations. For example, instead of thinking, "I failed at this task," you might reframe it as, "This experience taught me valuable lessons that will help me succeed next time." This process isn't about ignoring reality. It's about choosing to see the bigger picture and finding meaning in adversity. Steps to reframe negative thoughts. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you reframe effectively. 1. Identify the thought. Notice when a negative thought arises. Example: "I'll never be good enough." 2. Challenge its validity. Ask yourself, "Is this thought true? Is there evidence to support it?" 3. Find an alternative perspective. Replace the negative thought with a more constructive one. Example: "I'm doing my best and that's enough." 4. Practice consistently. Over time, reframing becomes second nature, helping you respond to challenges with optimism and resilience. Real-life example: Tom's transformation through reframing. Tom, a 45-year-old sales manager, used to struggle with self-doubt after losing a major client. He would replay the situation in his mind, blaming himself and fearing he'd never recover. During a coaching session, Tom learned about reframing and decided to apply it to his situation. Instead of viewing the loss as a failure, he reframed it as a learning opportunity. He realized that the experience highlighted areas where he could improve his communication skills and deepen his understanding of client needs. He shared, "Reframing didn't erase the disappointment, but it gave me hope. It reminded me that setbacks are temporary, and they can lead to breakthroughs." 3. Surrounding yourself with positivity, creating an uplifting environment. Your environment plays a crucial role in shaping your mindset. Surrounding yourself with positivity, whether through supportive relationships, inspiring content, or uplifting spaces, can significantly reduce overthinking and boost your overall well-being. Why your environment matters. The people, places, and media you engage with influence your thoughts and emotions. If you're constantly exposed to negativity, criticism, or toxic influences, it's easy to internalize those patterns and perpetuate overthinking. On the other hand, immersing yourself in positive environments fosters optimism, creativity, and resilience. As Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Surrounding yourself with uplifting individuals who encourage growth and positivity can accelerate your personal development. How to build a positive environment. Here are some strategies to create an uplifting atmosphere. 1. Choose supportive relationships. Spend time with people who inspire, motivate, and believe in you. Distance yourself from those who drain your energy or bring negativity into your life. 2. Curate your media consumption. Limit exposure to news, social media, or entertainment that fuels fear, anxiety, or comparison. Instead, seek out books, podcasts, and videos that promote positivity and personal growth. 3. Design inspiring spaces. Organize your home and workspace to reflect calmness and creativity. Add elements like plants, artwork, or motivational quotes to create a soothing ambience. 4. Engage in positive activities. Participate in hobbies, volunteer work, or community events that align with your values and bring joy to your life. Real-life example: Anna's shift toward positivity. Anna, a 29-year-old graphic designer, noticed that her mood often plummeted after scrolling through social media. She compared herself to others, feeling inadequate and stuck in cycles of self-criticism. To break free, Anna made intentional changes to her environment. She unfollowed accounts that triggered envy and followed pages focused on mindfulness, art, and inspiration. She also joined a local art group where she connected with like-minded creatives who encouraged her talents. She explained, "Changing my surroundings completely transformed my mindset. I stopped comparing myself to others and started celebrating my unique journey." 4. Stories of transformation. Building a positive mindset in action. To deepen your understanding of how cultivating positivity can transform lives, let's explore 2 inspiring stories that highlight the power of gratitude, reframing, and creating an uplifting environment. 4.1. The story of Emily, from self-doubt to confidence. Emily, a 27-year-old teacher, struggled with low self-esteem and constant overthinking about her abilities. She often questioned whether she was making a difference in her students' lives or if she was good enough as an educator. One day, during a professional development workshop, Emily learned about the importance of gratitude and reframing negative thoughts. She decided to start small by keeping a gratitude journal focused on her teaching experiences. Each evening, she wrote down moments when her students showed progress or expressed appreciation for her guidance. Over time, Emily noticed a shift in her mindset. Instead of dwelling on her perceived shortcomings, she began celebrating her successes, no matter how small. She also started reframing challenging classroom situations as opportunities to grow. For example, when a lesson didn't go as planned, she reminded herself, "This is a chance to try something new and improve." Reflecting on her journey, Emily shared, "Building a positive mindset didn't happen overnight, but it changed everything. I now see challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks." 4.2. The story of Carlos, finding joy amidst adversity. Carlos, a 50-year-old construction worker, faced significant adversity after being laid off due to a company closure. He felt defeated and unsure about his future, especially since he had spent decades in the same industry. To cope, Carlos turned to positivity practices he had read about online. He started each morning by listing 3 things he was grateful for, even during tough times. He also surrounded himself with supportive friends who encouraged him to pursue new opportunities. When negative thoughts crept in, like, "I'm too old to start over," Carlos challenged them by reframing, "My experience gives me unique skills that are valuable in any field." He eventually enrolled in a course to learn project management, leveraging his years of expertise in construction. Looking back, Carlos said, "Positivity became my anchor. It helped me believe in myself again and take bold steps toward a brighter future." 5. Practical tips for sustaining a positive mindset. Building a positive mindset is not a one-time effort. It requires consistent practice and intentional choices. Here are some additional tips to help you sustain positivity in your daily life. 1. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially during difficult times. Treat yourself with the same care and understanding you'd offer a friend facing similar challenges. Example affirmation: "I am human, and it's okay to make mistakes. I am learning and growing every day." 2. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and celebrate your achievements, no matter how minor they may seem. This reinforces a sense of accomplishment and motivates you to keep moving forward. Example habit: write down one win at the end of each day, such as completing a task or trying something new. 3. Limit overwhelm. Break large goals into smaller, manageable steps. This reduces the pressure to get everything right and allows you to focus on progress rather than perfection. 4. Engage in acts of kindness. Helping others boosts your own happiness and creates a ripple effect of positivity. Whether it's volunteering, offering a listening ear, or simply smiling at strangers, acts of kindness strengthen your connection to the world around you. 5. Visualize success. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your goals and dreams as if they've already been achieved. This practice builds confidence and aligns your actions with your aspirations. 6. Key takeaways from Chapter 4. Before moving on to the next chapter, let's recap the main lessons from this section. 1. Gratitude. Shift your focus to what you have instead of what you lack to foster contentment and joy. 2. Reframing negative thoughts. Transform challenges into opportunities by adopting a growth-oriented perspective. 3. Creating a positive environment. Surround yourself with supportive people, inspiring content, and uplifting spaces to nurture optimism. 4. Real-life inspiration. Stories like Emily's and Carlos's demonstrate how embracing positivity leads to resilience, confidence, and success. 5. sustaining positivity, incorporate self-compassion, celebrate small wins, and engage in acts of kindness to maintain a positive mindset long-term. Building a positive mindset is a lifelong journey, one that requires patience, persistence, and self-awareness. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you choose positivity, you open yourself up to endless possibilities, deeper connections, and a greater sense of fulfillment. In the next chapter, we'll explore how embracing the present moment can help you live fully and authentically. Until then, reflect on one way you can cultivate positivity today. Ask yourself, what small step can I take to invite more joy and gratitude into my life? Your wisdom journey continues. Stay tuned. Chapter 5: Embracing the Present Moment. The present moment is where life truly happens, yet so many of us spend our days lost in thoughts about the past or worries about the future. In this chapter, we'll explore the transformative power of living in the now and how embracing the present can help you stop overthinking, find inner peace, and create a life filled with purpose and joy. From letting go of the past to facing the future with confidence, these strategies will guide you toward a deeper connection with the here and now. By the end of this section, you'll have practical tools to anchor yourself in the present and live each day with intention and gratitude. Let's begin by understanding why living in the present is essential for mental clarity and emotional well-being. 1. Living in the now, the key to stopping overthinking. Living in the present means fully engaging with the current moment without being distracted by regrets from the past or anxieties about the future. It's about savoring the beauty of everyday experiences and finding meaning in the ordinary. Why the present moment matters. Overthinking often pulls us out of the present and into cycles of rumination or anticipation. When we dwell on what has already happened or obsess over what might happen, we miss the richness of the moment right in front of us. As Eckhart Tolle, author of The Power of Now, famously said, "Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life." This simple yet profound insight reminds us that true happiness and fulfillment are found not in chasing tomorrow but in embracing today. How to anchor yourself in the present. Here are some techniques to help you stay grounded in the moment. 1. Mindful breathing. Focus on your breath as an anchor to the present. Whenever your mind starts to wander, gently bring your attention back to the sensation of inhaling and exhaling. Example practice. Take 5 deep breaths, feeling the air fill your lungs and then slowly release it. Repeat whenever you feel overwhelmed. 2. Engage your senses. Use your senses to connect with the world around you. Notice the colors, sounds, textures, and smells in your environment. For example, while drinking coffee, pay attention to its aroma, warmth, and taste. 3. Single tasking. Instead of multitasking, focus on one activity at a time. Whether it's washing dishes, walking in nature, or having a conversation, give it your full attention. 4. Practice gratitude in the moment. Pause throughout the day to acknowledge something you're grateful for right now, a sunny sky, a kind gesture, or simply the fact that you're alive. Real-life example. Sophie's journey to the present. Sophie, a 34-year-old marketing executive, used to spend most of her time thinking about work deadlines and future goals. She rarely took moments to appreciate the present, which left her feeling disconnected and unfulfilled. After attending a mindfulness workshop, Sophie decided to experiment with living more intentionally. She started practicing mindful breathing during stressful moments and made a habit of noticing small details in her surroundings, like the sound of birds chirping or the feeling of sunlight on her skin. She reflected, "I realized I had been missing so much beauty in my daily life. By focusing on the present, I feel more alive and less burdened by overthinking." 2. Letting go of the past, healing old wounds. One of the biggest barriers to embracing the present is holding on to the past. Unresolved pain, regret, or resentment can keep us trapped in cycles of overthinking and prevent us from moving forward. Why letting go of the past is essential. The past cannot be changed, but clinging to it only prolongs suffering. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, it means releasing the emotional weight of past experiences so you can step into the present with freedom and clarity. As Maya Angelou wisely said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better." This quote reminds us that growth comes from learning, not lingering in guilt or blame. Steps to release the past. Here's how to let go of old wounds and make space for new beginnings. 1. Acknowledge your feelings. Allow yourself to feel whatever emotions arise without judgment. Suppressed feelings often resurface as overthinking or anxiety. Example journal prompt. What am I still holding on to from the past? How does it affect me today? 2. Forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It releases the hold that past events have on your heart and mind. Example affirmation. I forgive myself for my mistakes. I choose to move forward with love and compassion. 3. Learn from the experience. Reflect on what the past taught you and how it shaped who you are today. Use those lessons to build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. 4. Symbolically release the past. Write down painful memories or regrets, and then burn or tear up the paper as a symbolic act of letting go. Real-life example. Alex's path to forgiveness. Alex, a 42-year-old entrepreneur, carried bitterness toward a former business partner who had betrayed him years earlier. This resentment consumed his energy and clouded his ability to trust others. Through therapy, Alex learned the importance of forgiveness, not for the sake of his ex-partner, but for his own healing. He wrote a letter expressing his anger and hurt, then burned it as a way to release the emotional burden. He shared, "Letting go of the past freed me to focus on the present. I no longer waste energy on things I can't change. I invested in creating a better future." 3. Facing the future with confidence. Building a positive vision. While living in the present is crucial, preparing for the future is equally important. However, instead of worrying about what might happen, approach the future with optimism and a clear vision. Why a positive vision matters. A positive vision for the future gives you direction and motivation. It helps you set meaningful goals while staying grounded in the present. Rather than fearing uncertainty, you embrace it as an opportunity for growth. As Tony Robbins, motivational speaker and author, says, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. A well-defined vision allows you to channel your energy toward achieving your dreams. How to build a positive vision for the future. Here are some steps to help you create a hopeful and inspiring outlook. 1. Define your goals. Identify what you want to achieve in various areas of your life, career, relationships, health, personal development, and write them down. Example goal. I want to start a side business that aligns with my passions within the next year. 2. Visualize success. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself achieving your goals. Picture the details, the sights, sounds, and emotions, and feel the excitement of accomplishment. 3. Take action toward your vision. Break your goals into actionable steps and commit to taking consistent action. Progress, no matter how small, builds momentum and confidence. 4. Stay flexible. Life is unpredictable, and plans may need to adapt. Approach changes with openness and resilience, knowing that setbacks are part of the journey. Real-life example, Rachel's leap of faith. Rachel, a 29-year-old graphic designer, dreamed of starting her own creative agency but feared failure and financial instability. Her overthinking often paralyzed her, preventing her from taking the first step. To overcome her fears, Rachel created a vision board filled with images and quotes that represented her dream. She also broke her goal into manageable tasks, such as updating her portfolio, networking with potential clients, and saving money for startup costs. She explained, "Having a clear vision gave me courage. I stopped worrying about what if and focused on what's next. Now I'm closer than ever to making my dream a reality." 4. Finding inner peace. Cultivating serenity in everyday life. Inner peace is not something you find externally. It's a state of being that arises when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the present moment. By nurturing inner peace, you create a foundation for resilience, joy, and fulfillment, even amidst life's challenges. Why inner peace is essential. Overthinking often stems from a lack of inner peace. When your mind is restless, it seeks distractions or dwells on problems, preventing you from experiencing calmness and clarity. Inner peace acts as an anchor, grounding you in the present and helping you navigate difficulties with grace. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The future depends on what you do today." Embracing the present with a peaceful heart allows you to take meaningful action and shape a brighter tomorrow. Practical ways to cultivate inner peace. Here are some strategies to help you find and maintain inner peace. 1. Practice meditation. Meditation is one of the most effective ways to quiet the mind and connect with your inner self. Whether it's mindfulness meditation, loving-kindness meditation, or guided visualization, regular practice can reduce stress and promote relaxation. Example routine: spend 10 minutes each morning meditating in silence, focusing on your breath or repeating a calming mantra like, "I am at peace." 2. Spend time in nature. Nature has a profound ability to soothe the soul. Take a walk in the park, sit by a lake, or simply gaze at the stars to reconnect with the natural world and let go of mental clutter. 3. Engage in creative activities. Creativity fosters flow, a state of complete immersion in the present moment. Whether it's painting, writing, gardening, or playing music, creative pursuits can bring immense joy and tranquility. 4. Practice self-care. Prioritize activities that nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. This could include taking a warm bath, reading a book, or enjoying a cup of tea without distractions. Real-life example: Emma's journey to inner peace. Emma, a 38-year-old single mother, struggled with anxiety and overthinking due to the demands of raising 2 young children while working full-time. She often felt overwhelmed and disconnected from herself. To reclaim her sense of peace, Emma began incorporating small rituals into her daily routine. She started meditating for 5 minutes each morning, took evening walks in her neighborhood, and dedicated weekends to gardening, a hobby she had always loved but neglected. She shared, "These practices didn't magically solve my problems, but they gave me moments of stillness and joy. Over time, I realized that inner peace isn't about avoiding stress, it's about finding balance within it." 5. Stories of transformation, embracing the present moment. To inspire you further, let's explore 2 additional stories that highlight the power of living in the present, letting go of the past, and facing the future with courage. 5.1. The story of Michael, from regret to renewal. Michael, a 50-year-old architect, spent years regretting a career decision he made in his 30s. He had turned down a prestigious job offer to stay closer to family, and although he cherished his relationships, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had missed out on professional success. During a retreat focused on mindfulness and personal growth, Michael learned the importance of embracing the present. He realized that dwelling on what could have been was keeping him stuck and preventing him from appreciating his current achievements. He decided to write a gratitude list highlighting everything he valued in his life: his supportive wife, his thriving local business, and the close bond he shared with his children. This exercise helped him shift his perspective and focus on the abundance in his life. Reflecting on his transformation, Michael said, "Letting go of regret allowed me to see how rich my life truly is. Now I wake up each day with gratitude and excitement for what lies ahead." 5.2. The story of Priya, facing uncertainty with hope. Priya, a 26-year-old graduate student, faced uncertainty after completing her degree during a global economic downturn. She worried about finding a job, paying off student loans, and building a stable future. Her overthinking spiraled into sleepless nights and constant anxiety. To regain control, Priya adopted a combination of mindfulness practices and goal-setting techniques. She started journaling to process her fears and visualize her ideal career path. She also practiced affirmations like, "I trust the process of life and know that opportunities will come my way." Over time, Priya's mindset shifted. Instead of fearing the unknown, she embraced it as part of her journey. She secured a fulfilling internship and used the experience to build her confidence and network. She reflected, "Embracing the present moment taught me that uncertainty isn't something to fear, it's a space where possibilities unfold." 6. Key takeaways from Chapter 5. Before concluding this chapter, let's review the main lessons we've covered. 1. Living in the now. Anchor yourself in the present through mindful breathing, sensory awareness, and single tasking. 2. Letting go of the past, release regrets, resentments, and old wounds to free yourself from overthinking and embrace the present. 3. Facing the future with confidence, build a positive vision for the future by setting clear goals, visualizing success, and staying flexible. 4. Finding inner peace, cultivate serenity through meditation, nature, creativity, and self-care practices. 5. Real-life inspiration, stories like Emma's, Michael's, and Priya's demonstrate how embracing the present moment leads to healing, growth, and fulfillment. Closing words for Chapter 5. Embracing the present moment is both an art and a practice, one that requires patience, awareness, and intentionality. It's about letting go of the need to control every detail and trusting that life unfolds exactly as it should. When you choose to live fully in the now, you unlock the door to inner peace, joy, and purpose. You stop chasing perfection and start cherishing the beauty of imperfection. You realize that the greatest gift you can give yourself is the ability to be present, for yourself, for others, and for the world around you. In the final section of this audiobook, we'll summarize the key insights and provide actionable steps to help you integrate these teachings into your daily life. Until then, take a moment to pause and reflect. What does living in the present mean to me? How can I invite more presence and peace into my life today? Conclusion: your journey to stop overthinking and master the art of letting go. Throughout this audiobook, we've explored powerful strategies to help you stop overthinking and embrace a life of clarity, peace, and purpose. Let's briefly revisit the key insights from each chapter. Understanding overthinking. Overthinking is a habit rooted in fear, perfectionism, and societal pressures. By recognizing its causes and effects, you can begin to break free from its grip. The science of letting go. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about releasing what no longer serves you and creating space for growth. Practices like acceptance, forgiveness, and detachment are essential for this process. Practical techniques to stop overthinking. Tools such as mindfulness meditation, journaling, positive affirmations, and time management empower you to take control of your thoughts and emotions. Building a positive mindset, gratitude, reframing negative thoughts, and surrounding yourself with positivity transform your perspective and build resilience. Embracing the present moment. Living in the now allows you to find inner peace, let go of the past, and face the future with confidence. These lessons are designed to guide you on a transformative journey, one that leads to greater self-awareness, emotional freedom, and fulfillment. Now that you've gained valuable knowledge, it's time to put it into practice. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent effort and commitment. Here are some actionable steps to help you integrate these teachings into your daily life. 1. Start small. Choose one technique or strategy from this audiobook and implement it today. Whether it's practicing mindful breathing, writing in a gratitude journal, or setting boundaries with technology, small actions lead to big results. 2. Be patient with yourself. Transformation takes time. Celebrate your progress, no matter how minor it may seem, and forgive yourself for setbacks along the way. 3. Stay consistent. Make these practices a part of your routine. Consistency builds habits, and habits shape your mindset. 4. Seek support. Share your journey with friends, family, or a community of like-minded individuals. Surrounding yourself with encouragement and accountability amplifies your growth. As you apply these principles, remember the words of Lao Tzu. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Each step you take brings you closer to mastering the art of letting go and living a life filled with peace and purpose. Overcoming overthinking and embracing letting go may feel challenging at times, but I want to remind you of something important. You already possess everything you need to succeed. Courage, resilience, and wisdom lie within you, waiting to be unleashed. Every challenge you face is an opportunity for growth. Every thought you release creates space for new possibilities. And every moment you choose to live fully in the present is a gift to yourself and those around you. Believe in your ability to transform. Believe in the power of the present moment. And most importantly, believe in the incredible potential of who you are becoming. Thank you for listening to Stop Overthinking, Master the Art of Letting Go. It has been an honor to share these insights with you and accompany you on this wisdom journey. If you found value in this audiobook, I encourage you to share it with others who may benefit from its teachings. Your support means the world to us, and together, we can inspire countless individuals to live with greater clarity, joy, and purpose. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Audiobooks for more content designed to elevate your mind and enrich your life. Your engagement fuels our mission to spread knowledge, inspiration, and transformation. Life is happening right here, right now. Don't let overthinking steal the beauty of this moment. Embrace the present with open arms, knowing that you have the power to create a life you love. As Rumi, the renowned poet, once said, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." Change begins within you, and the journey starts today. Thank you again for being a part of this experience. May your path ahead be filled with peace, growth, and endless possibilities. Until next time, stay wise, stay inspired, and keep shining.